The character Naruto Uzumaki, once celebrated for his relentless optimism, underdog rise, and meaningful growth through Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, is now the subject of growing concern among longtime fans of the successor series Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. Many argue that the sequel has undermined key aspects of Naruto's legacy, turning the hero they once revered into a weaker echo of his former self. One major criticism is management of Naruto's role as the village leader. As seventh Hokage of the Konoha Corps, Naruto's monumental journey from outsider orphan to savior of the ninja world seemed complete. Yet in Boruto, his responsibilities appear to have turned him into an absentee father figure, reliant on shadow clones, distracted by paperwork, and unable to reconcile his public duties with his family life. Viewers point out that this shift conflicts with the emotional foundation of his original arc, a character who valued connection, perseverance, and recognition. The portrayal of Naruto failing to show up in critical moments at home casts a different light on his former triumphs. Another key issue is power scaling and narrative relevance. Naruto reached near-mythical status by the end of Shippuden, mastering Sage Mode, Kurama's power, and becoming a world-shaping figure. But in Boruto, his powers have been reduced, his presence sidelined, and his direct involvement in major conflicts downplayed. Analysts argue this isn't growth, but rather a functional weakening. Naruto's diminished capacity seems designed to boost the next generation's relevance rather than reflect organic character evolution. For fans who invested in his climb to the top, seeing him overshadowed and nerfed feels like a betrayal of the journey. Many also contend the sequel retcons or undermines Naruto's past accomplishments. In the original narrative, his triumphs were hard-earned, rooted in struggle, rejection, and tenacity. But in Boruto, the emphasis shifts. New threats, shortcuts, and power markers such as karma, new eyes, or marks replace the conventional shinobi ethics Naruto epitomized. This gives the impression that Naruto's foundational values no longer hold weight in the evolving story, making past victories feel diluted or devalued. Critics point out that sidestepping Naruto in favor of younger characters may also be a thematic misstep. In making Naruto's arc finished and his role largely logistical, the show risks neglecting his emotional and moral resonance. Meanwhile, the new protagonists carry the burden of narrative momentum, leaving Naruto as a background symbol rather than an active hero. For some fans, this shrinks the emotional stakes. The man who topped the ninja rankings now delivers memo lines instead of moment-defining fights. That said, some analysts caution this reading may be influenced by nostalgia bias. They argue that comparing Naruto's hero story, constructed in a different era, with the sequel's structural aims may be unfair. Yet for many, the question remains: if the hero's essence is lost or inverted, what does it mean for the legacy of the character and the world built around him? In sum, the view that Naruto has been ruined by Boruto is rooted in tangible concerns. His role has been diminished, his character values shifted, and the weight of his past achievements undermined. Whether one sees this as the natural evolution of a franchise or a fundamental misstep depends largely on how one values the original. Either way, the sequel's treatment of Naruto prompts a deeper reflection on how legacy characters can be respected, not just featured.